PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. The Bengals traveled to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Pittsburgh won this game 34-12. Top 5 graded players that we had for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cornerback Brandon Echols at the top of the list with an 87.8. Tight end Darnell Washington. The NFL's version of a Space Jam Monstar is what I said on Twitter, and I'm standing by it. 87.5. He's been awesome to watch this year. Cornerback James Pierre with an 80.9. Defensive tackle Keanu Benton an 80.1. Edge rusher Nick Herbig a 77.6. Aaron Rodgers in this game didn't play particularly well, didn't really need to before he ended up getting hurt. 42.9 overall grade there. On Cincinnati's side of things, cornerback Dax Hill with a 78.8, edge rusher Joseph Osai a 75.5, defensive tackle B.J. Hill a 71.3, center Ted Karras with a 68.9, safety Jordan Battle a 67.8, and quarterback Joe Flacco with a 37.8 in this one. Dalton stat that told the story.
All right, the Steelers, part of the frustration when they lost here in Cincinnati a few weeks ago was, where are the adjustments on defense? Where are the adjustments in the secondary? How in the world is Jamar Chase in single coverage every single play? What is with just the cover 1, cover 3 mentality that's killing us and we're giving up 33 points to Joe Flacco in a loss on a Thursday night, right? Where are the adjustments? Well, the second time around, the Steelers make the adjustments. A lot more too-high looks. 41 snaps on defense in this game in either a too-high look or they had a couple of brackets mixed in there where they're doubling on Chase and or Higgins. Okay, 41 snaps, too high or brackets, all right? That is the Steelers' most since week 1 of 2022 in a win over, guess which team they were playing, Trevor? The Cincinnati Bengals. So they've done this before. They know Jamar Chase and T. Higgins exist. They didn't go to this the first time around because maybe they just didn't respect Flacco and his ability to beat them, or they just trusted the pass rush that it was going to get there. It didn't that night because Flacco got rid of the football quickly. Now, when you get in all these too high coverages, you don't let Chase and Higgins just get all those one-on-ones. You don't let them get over the top all the time, like they were getting downfield or even in the intermediate range like they were getting the first time around. Joe Flacco in this game against these too high coverages, 6.7 yard average depth of target. That's pretty low. We can live with that. And 2 turnover-worthy plays. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin, Terrell Austin made the adjustment on defense. They contained this Bengals offense, obviously, a lot better than they did last time. They got the Kyle Duggar pick 6. That was the thing to me, the adjustment that they probably should have made in-game the first time around. They did it for the entire game this time.
On the Bengals side of things, the Bengals defense, different story. Okay?
Yes.
Since week 6, which I believe Trey Hendrickson played week 7, but then he got hurt, so he has not played since. Week 6 also happened to be the last week that Logan Wilson played starter reps at the linebacker level. So he was a reserve linebacker before the trade deadline, and now he is not even on the team anymore. Since week 6, the Cincinnati Bengals team defensive grade of a 43.7 is worst in the NFL. And when you look at the linebacker level specifically, Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight, 29.4 overall grade, that is the worst in the NFL. It bums me out that Lou Anarumo was the scapegoat for what's going on here. And I'm not trying to say that as slander or disrespect to Al Golden, who I like as a coach. But Lou Anarumo was fired because the defense was not as talented as it needed to be, and I think because they've whiffed on a lot of their draft picks on the defensive side of the ball. And now they're playing a lot of those young guys in very important spots without Trey Hendrickson, which, again, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned. When you don't have your star and your best defensive player, that obviously matters. But specifically with their linebackers, they're playing 2 young guys who are going through a lot of trials of being starters in the NFL for the first time. And outside of this team just basically saying that this season is over, I think that's really hard to look at the rest of your defensive players and say, nope, we're putting our best foot forward with this. because that's just a really tough reality. I'm not trying to be overly harsh on Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight. They are young players who are starting for the first time this season. When you are a linebacker in the NFL and you are starting, there are so many things that you have to know. You're making communications, that's without even saying if you're the green dot player and you have to make the calls to the entire rest of the defense, but you're making communications as the cornerstone middle part of the defense. You're the second level of the spine that goes right down the middle of what the defense is. You've got to be able to fill the run. You've got to be able to play well in coverage. You've got to have chemistry with the corners and the safeties behind you. All of that has to happen when you're a linebacker. It is a much more difficult job than I think we normally give it credit for, and you are playing two young players who are starting in that spot for the first time. But the inexperience that both of these players have is not giving you a chance to win football games. It's not. And I think that's the tough part with Cincinnati right now, is rolling out a defense that in 2025, not saying this is always how it's going to be, even with the players they have right now, but in 2025, you are basically saying that you are not going to win many football games. You just don't have the football IQ yet at the pro level to be able to realistically do that. And I think that's the tough part of watching this Bengals defense right now, is they don't have the experience. And they're just getting whooped every single week, no matter what offense it is.
Yeah.
And they've been statistically the worst defense in the NFL since Trey Hendrickson and Logan Wilson haven't been in the lineup.
And I mean, look, the stat that's floating around there, it's been floating around for about 24 hours now, is they've given up 27 points at least in 9 straight games.
Yeah.
That's an NFL record. I mean, and I'm glad you mentioned Al Golden. What is Al Golden supposed to do with this?
What's he going to do?
Yeah,
what are you going to do with two linebackers in the middle of your defense that don't know what they're doing yet?
And both of your starting edge defenders out. Shamar Stewart out for this game as well.
Right.
So you're starting Joseph Osai and Miles Murphy off the edge, and Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter at linebacker. I don't know what Al Golden is supposed to do. And look, they're playing New England next week, possibly without Jamar Chase. Because
let me tell you, it's not going to go well. Even with Jamar Chase. By the way, that's my most disappointing, and I just want to say this. I think everybody saw the video of him spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Whatever got us to that point, if Jalen Ramsey said something to him that was so disrespectful that he felt that a proper response was spitting on Jalen Ramsey, whatever that entire situation was, that's the biggest disappointment. Because that level of disrespect, it is a highly competitive game. I get it. That level of disrespect has no place in the game of football. So, again, the act, whatever caused it, whatever that escalated it to that level of disrespect, it just that was the most disappointing, seeing that. That sucks.
If you're going to spit on the guy, just swing at him. Make it worth it.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
swinging at a guy with a helmet's never worth it. But we don't need to talk about that too much.
I mean, did he not get the memo, the Jalen Carter memo?
It's all just disappointing. Whatever. That whole part is just very, very disappointing to me. Everything that transpired there. It's got no part in the game of football. My most impressive though, Darnell Washington, baby.
Gotta be.
Dude, he is an animal this season, and so I'm a little biased. I had him as a top 20 player in that class. What was that, the 2022 class, 2023 class? Can't remember exactly what it was. I had him as a top 20 player because I looked at who this dude was at Georgia, and I went, what are you supposed to do with this guy? He's quite literally built like an offensive tackle. He can basically fill in for left tackle for you. If you've got him attached to the line of scrimmage, it's truly like you're in a jumbo set, and yet he's somebody where we saw it in flashes at Georgia. You leak him out to the sideline or whatever, you get him in space, he can actually be a receiving option for you. But up to this point in his career, we haven't really seen that. This year, we actually are. Look at him in this game. 87.5 overall grade. He had a 78.3 receiving grade and 81.9 run blocking grade. 5 targets, 4 catches, 67 yards. And he had that one catch where he had 3 missed tackles forced because he stiff-armed one dude, I don't even remember who it was, straight into the ground, bounced off of one tackle, and then even as he was running out of bounds, he sent DJ Turner to the shadow realm. Outside when he got outside of where the line was and the play was over. It was just he is such a mismatch now that he is playing with, again, the theme of this show, confidence. He looks like he is faster. He looks like he is ready to actually make guys miss, lower the shoulder. Darnell Washington's been awesome this season.
It's almost like It's almost like that Derrick Henry bit where it's
You doing
like,
all right?
Yeah, I'm alive.
You doing all right?
I'm alive.
Okay, all right.
You know, it's like the Jets played on Thursday, and it's made me sick ever since. Is what's happened. So, look,
of course,
it's almost like the Derrick Henry bit, where if you let this guy get the train rolling, like good luck.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, and I still say, whenever at some point when he's much older, when he loses a step, I'd still put him at tackle. I'm telling you, he's big enough he could play the offensive line.
I'm
sure.
with you.
I'm with you. It's one of those things. But a couple other guys that impressed me in this game, too. How about the two backs for the Steelers? Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, unfortunately. What does that tie into? Linebackers covering him.
Well, of course. I mean, there's always a yin and yang with these things. You know? Somebody's got to play.
I haven't checked the PFF player prop tool for this upcoming week, but I got a feeling
Travion.
We might like whoever the matchup is with the Bengals linebackers.
Travion Henderson. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, especially the way their offensive line is playing.
Yeah. Anyways, keep going.
Warren, 10 carries, 62 yards, 5 missed tackles for us. Kenneth Gainwell, 7 catches, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. Got to love that, and especially you got to love those two backs if you're the Steelers right now, because we don't know if or how much time Aaron Rodgers might miss with a small fracture in his left wrist there.
Right,
so,
right.
Obviously left this game, didn't play in the second half, but either way, the Steelers are going to need more out of these backs, whether it's Rodgers or it's Mason Rudolph.
You know what's very interesting about the Steelers next week? Playing at Soldier Field. Ooh. Aaron Rodgers has said before that he loves playing at Soldier Field from all the years that he played there when he was with the Packers.
Well, he's the owner. Right.
I'm not going to say it, but you said it.
He said it himself.
And so I think he's going to do everything he possibly can to play in this game.
We're going to find out.
Because he wants to.
Going to find out if he still owns them.
I mean, it might be this might be his last game.
Caleb Williams going to buy the team back off him?
Maybe.
Man.
Maybe Caleb Williams is the one who really needs him to play.
Minority stake, Mason Rudolph?
I don't know about that. I don't know if it's I don't know if that's transferable with Mason Rudolph.
Well, a minority stake, just
maybe.
Mason Rudolph, like he gets 2% ownership of the Bears from Aaron Rodgers.
If he wins.
Only if he wins. Wow. It's contingent. See, now Mason Rudolph, if he plays, is going to be real motivated.
Winnable games.
Only winnable if you win them.
Only winnable if
Hold up now. That's an even one there. We can't just chalk that one up either way.
What do you mean?
Caleb Williams, he's going to be running around. T.J. Watt. Nick Herbig.
Well, hold on. Don't spoil the preview show before we get to Wednesday. We got to preview that.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were just going to go ahead and preview
that. No. Okay. We got to give the people something to look forward to for Wednesday. That's what they got to do.
That's right.
Got to string them along a little bit. That's the dangle and the carrot. Got to make sure that
the next show is always more important than this one.
Thank you. You said it, not me. And that's why, folks, you should be subscribed to the channel if you're not, to make sure that you don't miss any of the shows that we have throughout the season, including the film breakdowns, all the good stuff.
And I might not sound like crap by then. Maybe. Well,
we'll see.
More than usual.
Sure.